Welcome to Open Invite. This episode is actually really different from everything we've done. This is a three-person episode, and we have our good friend Scotty over here, Scott Williams. And so thank you so much for showing up. Let's just get into it.
All right.
So what have you been up to lately?
Working a lot, yeah.
Scotty owns a bar here in Farmers Branch. What's the name of the bar?
Locals Lounge.
As if I didn't know. But
Yeah. But tell us a little bit about it and what's been happening with it recently.
It's a cocktail lounge. Well, it's kind of a two-part. One is a beer and wine store, and then right next to it is a cocktail lounge. And we have to keep them separate for TABC laws. So, we can't bring cocktails into the store. The store can't bring beer and wine into the cocktail lounge. So, yeah, we have to keep them separate. But they are under the same umbrella. They're right next to each other. And they're in a little shopping center in Farmers Branch. For the longest time, we had kind of been struggling whenever we first opened up.
Yeah,
we didn't have because we got our plans approved by Farmers Branch, and then the day or week we were going to open, they came back and said, you guys can't serve food because you don't have a grease trap, and they approved all of our plans. So that kind of screwed us in the beginning, and it took us a while because we were out of money because it takes a huge amount to.
But now it's booming, right?
Not booming, but we were finally able to put in a grease trap, and so now we finally. Actually, yesterday was the first day that I started serving food.
Oh, okay.
Whoa! So took this long.
We put in the grease trap, but then we couldn't afford to buy the food or pay the staff to cook. So right now, I'm the one. We're not cooking much. It's mainly charcuterie and stuff like that.
Bunch of corn dishes?
I wish it was. Actually, I did have some corn dip.
I knew it.
They know my love of corn.
Yes.
And I love tasting.
Scotty is ranked number 1 corn loving in the world.
Challenge him. I dare you.
Cob, whatever.
Whatever it is. I will eat it. Yeah. Cornbread. Yeah.
We went to, what was it called?
Oh, Cadillac Barbecue.
Dude. Their cornbread.
That's the shit. Oh, yeah, man.
So you've been.
Oh, to their big Brontosaurus rib is
come to it. Time to pay. Yikes.
Yeah, it's not a cheap place to eat.
Yeah.
And it's so inconvenient too because it's in the middle of an industrial park, and they're only open on like Thursday afternoons and Friday afternoons, maybe Saturday now, I don't know, but you have to get there early because you stand in line and you're gonna wait. But I don't know about anymore, but usually they hand out free beers while you wait. I don't know if they do that.
They have water now. It looks like
water.
Yeah, not while you wait, but I do believe if you ask for a Lone Star, you'll get it for free. But it's one of those if you know kind of things.
Yeah, they used to have ice chests all along the waiting line, and you could just grab your own.
Damn, it sounds expensive.
I think I do remember that. Yeah,
because you're paying a lot of money for some really, really good barbecue, though.
It is
the best I've ever eaten.
The best I've ever had.
Yeah, absolutely,
hands down.
Or like one of those channels where the kids are like, "What kind of toppings do you like? Cheese? Yeah, I like cheese.
Me too.
Okay, more of a cheese guy.
Hey, we could order some and have a mukbang right here on your podcast,
dude.
Shout out on barbecue.
But I feel like that kind of barbecue is like, you got to be right there, right when it comes out.
Oh.
All the ambiance.
Yeah, as soon as you walk in, like, whoa.
I know. It's incredible.
So what else have you been
back
up
to
to,
my
man?
bar.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But enough about that.
Enough about barbecue. Let's get back to business.
Yeah.
What else have I been up to?
So you had a lot of difficulty getting like the food up and running, right? And so like I imagine there's other difficulties with running a bar like that you just kind of encountered that you didn't think of.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my biggest worries and hurdles is employees, especially in a bar, and for some reason I think we attract drunks, and so obviously
you don't say.
But in the staff as well, I've had to fire a couple of bartenders for being drunk on the job, and so that has been my biggest. I mean, I should have seen it coming. It is what it is. But
now, were they getting drunk off of company inventory, or they're just showing up drunk?
A little bit of both. No, they never showed up drunk. They just got drunk.
Not in their own time.
Throughout the night. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, I have, like...
Let me check and make sure. Oh, yeah, that one's good for you, buddy. Don't worry.
Right. And I found out that they were going to the restaurant next door and drinking and then coming back, or just drinking right there. Yeah.
One for you, one for me.
That's been a challenge. Like one guy, I came in like the following morning, and he had a little glass of bourbon sitting in the well that he had been sipping on all night. And then I walked into the bathroom hallway, and there was a beer and still, the beer wasn't open. He was just taking it to go home with, I guess. And then
one for the road.
Yeah, so.
A road beer. Company perks, am I right?
That's the most recent, but I've had to fire a couple. One, I got into a physical altercation. I don't even know if I showed you the. He jumped on me and grabbed my neck and started choking me.
Why?
Out in the parking lot. It got started because we had a full bar, and I went back behind to help him out. And one of his regulars was there, and he got mad because we weren't automatically serving him or her. And I had gone over twice and said, hey, what can I get you? And they said, no, we want a certain bartender.
Yeah.
He thought that we hadn't talked to him, and I'd talked to him, like I said, twice personally. He was like, you need to serve them. And I was like, I explained to him, and he said, all you people want to own bars.
What do you
don't know
yeah,
how?
I was like, whoa!
What do you mean? Yeah.
That's not a phrase you just throw around.
We were both of the same race.
The same creed.
His regulars were black, and there were a lot of their friends there as well. And so he told everyone in front of the bar, the owners of this place are racist. And I was like, what the fuck? And, so I looked at him, I said, you can fuck off and get out of here. And he was like, nobody tells me, little big guy, nobody tells me to fuck off. And he ran out the door. And so we thought it was over.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys from the restaurants next door went over to the store side, not the bar side, but the store side. And then came and got us and like, dude, you got to come over here and look. And so we all went over there, and there was water. It has like little couches and chairs. It's classic joint. And there were like droplets of water everywhere. And then we looked around, and there was water. Well, we thought it was water, but it wasn't water. But anyway, so we went back and looked at the film, and he had gone into the store, poured wine into a bucket, soaked some rags into a bucket, and then just threw wine all over the store.
What the hell? This guy is.
And it's a pretty funny video, but yeah.
Let's cut to a clip.
So you're right. So we could do that. He left again. We didn't see him, and then like an hour later, he runs back through the parking lot, pulls up, and I'm over in the store side cleaning up, the wine everywhere.
Yeah.
And another girl runs into me and was like, "Hey, you've got to come out here." Certain person is back, and he had tried to get back into the building, and he pushed Tracy out of the way. Tracy's one of the other owners. And my son was there. He was home from college, was there. And so he, was like, hey, don't, be pushing Tracy. That kind of happened. And then I, run out there. And he's beside his car. And I was, walked out the door. And I was like, what's going on? And he jumped at me. And he's like, nobody tells me to fuck off.
This fucking guy, bro.
And he had manicured little hands. He's kind of the mustachioed, guy. And with manicured little hands. And so I had scratch marks all over my neck. I didn't see until later that evening.
The girl was like, you been
right, where you
running around town on me?
And I didn't want to, pummel him. So, and he probably weighed 100 pounds. So he had his hands around me. And so I picked him up and just put him on the hood of his car. And then someone grabbed me from behind. And
then you were in a real predicament.
Right.
He called us back up.
And no, I was like, he yanked me back, and I was like, what? I'm not even mad, because I wasn't mad. I mean, it is what it is. And he was like, yeah, but you were choking him. I was like, okay,
he was choking me.
Fair, right?
Look at my neck. It's called self-defense.
Right. Stand your ground.
Yeah.
But so that was so he never came back. But it really is tough, and this is really my first, foray into that. I've never really had to manage people.
How do you like it? Do you feel like does it give you a little power trip?
Firing people, or I've only had to fire that one. The other guys left on their own, but
that's what really gets you off.
Yeah, that is. I'm just looking for someone. The next one, I have a couple that I would like to. No, I'm just kidding.
You're looking around, see if there's any glasses behind the bar.
Right. Check breath. Need breathalyzer. Blow into this.
So you just had a birthday.
I did have a birthday.
What'd you do for your 49th? Sorry, I just doxed you.
Sorry, I just dated you.
Yeah. That's all right. I'm kind of proud to be 49.
Let's go.
Didn't think I'd make it this long. So
hell yeah.
We're in bonus time now.
The overtime.
Overtime, right? I can't remember what I did. What did I do?
It was that fun, huh?
It was that. I don't know. I'm not.
Where
really
did you wake up?
I'm not really a birthday person. Or where did I wake up that day?
Yeah, I meant the day after.
Probably.
Were you sore at all?
All I gotta say is fuck corn.
I'm not a fan anymore.
Oh yeah. So what did you do for your birthday?
I really don't remember.
Oh, okay.
He really wants to know. You need to tell
really,
him.
I do need to
I'm
tell
not letting
her,
this slide, man.
We're gonna have to cut this out because I don't. Maybe my girlfriend did something special for me, and I'm just so we probably don't need to share this part of the podcast.
I mean, we don't have to go into detail. But if it's part of the story, why leave it out?
Let's just say I had a good time.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be right back.
After these messages from Betty Crocker.
Let's cut to a clip.
No. Yeah. Can I speak directly to the audience?
Of course.
Yeah. Dear followers of Open Invite, your podcasting heroes did me dirty. They brought me into the fold. They opened their doors to me. They broke bread with me and then ghosted me, really. And you guys, even as
are we the ones that moved away? Yeah. We all used to live in the same area.
I did live across the street for a long time.
Super close.
Super close, yeah. But yeah, they
So fuck you, Scott.
fuck you. So now it's my fault. Gaslighting. This is called gaslighting, kids. Yeah, so they showed me the octagon, taught me the history. And
of UFC?
Yeah.
Invited you yesterday? Yesterday
no,
was
that's it. You did not invite me yesterday. Dear listener, he did not invite me yesterday.
That's
He said, hey, me and my friend Andrew are going to watch the fights, and then maybe tomorrow we can do the... Did I get an invite? No.
That's fair. I asked you what you were doing. You said you were working.
That's very true. I was working. I could not be here.
Well,
but an invite would have been nice.
A courtesy invite.
I mean, I want to see Holloway and Poirier 3. Right? Was that last night?
It was fire, bro.
Yeah. Who won?
Yeah. Max Holloway.
I don't even
dude.
care. I don't want to
so.
hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't even care anymore.
Too close to home.
Next time I'm going to ask you, what are you doing? You're going to tell me you're busy. I'm going to be like, well, do you want to come anyways?
They're going to invite me for a pity fight now, but I'm not going.
We watched the fight over here. You were involved in a fight over there. It's all good.
It's all the same. Yeah, it's all the same.
It's all part of the fight world.
That was last year when
Yeah, but for those who don't know, Scotty is one of our best friends. We just haven't seen him in a long while. He's been away, and we all used to work together.
Yeah, he was one of our surprise friends. He was not somebody that we actually expected to get along with.
I actually hated you when I first met
In fact, we had some disdain for him in the beginning.
Yeah.
What?
Because you were a threat to his job. He's my best friend, and so I was like, fuck
How was
this
that
guy.
threat? We taught different...
Because the original plan was not to bring you on as an addition. The original plan was to bring you on to replace him.
Yeah.
They just wanted to replace you.
They did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They eventually did.
Sure, I did not look like your other friends, I mean, I'm a little paler and older, so I can see
I'm
where...
pretty light-skinned. And Jonathan's light-skinned, too. We're all light-skinned. I think you look just like us.
One of us.
I am about as tannish.
But yeah, and then just somehow by us working together and talking, we're like, this guy's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Little by little, we were just like, all right, man. He's actually pretty cool.
He's not that bad.
I won you over. Yeah, he's not that bad. Not good, but not that bad.
And also, the experience and your depth of the amount of connections you have and the stories you have to tell.
Yeah, your life experience for sure.
We had this running joke that Scott has 1 or 2 degree separation from everyone in the world.
Or any possible experience that you could have. You'd be like, if a train is passing by, you'd be like, oh yeah, I actually know somebody he used to work on trains. Somehow you just have a connection to everything.
Have you ever gotten stuck at a railroad crossing?
I've flipped a firebird.
You motherfucker!
On a railroad crossing. Well, when I say I mean my ex-wife flipped my firebird while I was in it on a railroad crossing. But that's a different story for a different
always
day.
Close.
Yeah.
If not directly involved, at least in the proximity.
I mean, I was in the car, but they had to pull us out from from one of the side windows.
Bruh. The dartboard for Scott is so fucking huge. You should throw it anywhere. It's going to land bullseye.
There's no black on Scott's dartboard.
Just one big bullseye.
Yeah. Let's see. What other situations can we throw out there? See if you've experienced them. Have you ever been involved in police brutality?
I've been to a lot of protests.
So I've witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah, yes. Witnessed it firsthand. I mean, I've never...
There we go.
Yep.
I'll take it back. I have been in some handcuffs.
They tightened them a little too much?
They did tighten them a little too much.
Have you ever handcuffed anybody?
I was pretty drunk, so I didn't mind too much.
You're telling me Scotty hasn't handcuffed somebody?
We'll be back with a commercial break.
But yeah, so just throughout our conversations at work and actually getting to know you, then We were just like, he's actually cool. Like, we actually want to be friends with that guy. Because people have coworkers that they get along with and that they're cordial with and, you know, they respect and all that. But at the end of the day, once you leave your job, you leave that at work.
Mm-hmm.
Very seldom are there those people that you actually want to continue that social dynamic outside of the workplace.
Yeah,
and you are one of those people for us.
I feel the exact same.
And then you have those other people.
Those other people.
Who want so bad to be friends outside of work. And you're just like, no.
Not gonna happen.
Friend it up.
Not going to happen. Friend it up. Yeah, my social calendar's full. I'm sorry.
Take a hint.
Yeah. Right. How many times do I have to say no?
How many different ways do I have to
make
say
something
no?
up? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I read an article the other day, and it was talking about women in traditionally male fields. Like, you know, there's a lot of women going into electrician or plumbing or,
Really?
you know, construction, all of these things. And they're like, you know, why is it? And they, and the you know, butt of the joke was that all the men are out creating podcasts, and so women have to come out and do the real shit.
That's funny though, because women are doing podcasts too. Yeah. Hot take. I just feel like they're not doing it as well as the men are. I don't know if this has something to do with the way that women listen to each other speak and the way that they speak. But I find that generally the most successful podcasts are run by men or like starring men.
Yeah.
Not to say that women can't be good podcasters or good podcast guests, because there are also really great podcasts where you have men and women, but it does seem like a largely dominated male space.
Well, and the problem is I don't really listen to podcasts, and I don't, you know, of course you guys and a few others, generation below me or something may be more into it, but you know, I don't know if my friend group, you know, however big that is or whatever, I don't know if I could get them to listen to it. Maybe for a little while, but
and I don't think you want them to listen to it. Like, ultimately, I think it's about your experience and what you have to like kind of offer to the world, and then let the audience find you or market enough that you can get there in front of them, and you'll start to build your audience, because that'll be, you know, everyone has that big initial boost of their family and friends at first, but then like they don't actually care. They just want to support you.
They're just being supportive because they love you or they care about you.
Yeah. And that's fine. Like, that's really cool that they're willing to do that, but it's going to die off.
Yeah.
Like, we have one supporter. Shout out Robert.
You
know, you're listening. You know, he's
and commenting.
He's a day one.
Did you know him before? Like,
I do know him before.
Oh, okay.
But like, he just genuinely likes all the episodes and comments and
consistently showing up and being verbal about it.
That would be my hook, is to get people, you know, friends in the community and you know, regulars at the bar and stuff, that if I could get them in, then they would, you know, share it with their friends or whatever. Look, I was on a podcast or whatever. And so there is, you know, a big group of that. And so then, you know, their friends would, you know, tune in once to watch their friend. But
every time that we have a new guest on, it brings in a new audience, because, you know, they bring in their inherent, you know, fan base or people that enjoy them. And then, and we'll do what we can to get it in front of them, but we're not specifically looking for any type of audience. We just want to build a community and see who wants to be here. You know, Robert is a good example of that. Somebody who's here. Laura, she's here all the time, you know, like. And
just so you guys know that we see you. Those of you who are constantly like engaging with the content, regardless of the platform, we see you, we appreciate you, and we hope you keep doing it.
Heck yeah.
I don't appreciate any of you.
What do you appreciate, Scott?
It's a good question.
What's your favorite drink?
I like a Scotch Old Fashioned, and I'm more of a tequila margarita type person, actually. It pairs well with elotes.
Where did your love for corn come from?
I don't know. I mean, I lived in Oak Cliff for like 8 years, and like right beside, you know, like, I don't know, a couple blocks from my house was an elote stand, so I think it had to be that. I mean, yeah.
He was groomed.
Cut to the corn kid.
It's gone.
It's gone.
What did you say that elote was called? Because we called it elote all our lives, but it's called something else.
Well, if it's in a cup, it's esquite. If it's on the cob, it's elote.
Yeah, no, it's opposite from what they really sell. But I was at like a festival, a taco festival the other day, and they had it up on the board, you know, whatever, esquite and elote, and I was like, what the hell? Because I never heard that before until recently, but yeah.
You said you were at a taco festival?
Yeah.
The fuck?
They have them, yeah.
Where was this?
In Denton.
I knew it.
Damn.
I was like, a taco festival just sounds like something that white people would do. And there's a bunch of white people in Denton.
There are a bunch of white people in Denton. That's true. They're keeping it weird.
Can we talk about how Denton wants to be Austin so bad?
So bad. So bad.
What do you see? What comparisons can you make?
Well, because he said, keep
keep
Denton
it-
weird. But
yeah.
it's like, that's Austin's thing. Denton is essentially the little brother of Austin that is trying to tag along with Austin and go with all his friends, but he's just like, no, go be your own person. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Find your own friends.
You need to rebrand Denton.
Denton's pretty cool though. They got
Yeah.
Buc-ee's.
I just feel like that's kind of their thing, is like they're chasing the identity of Austin.
Yeah, and you can tell Denton people too. Like they have a
yeah.
certain look about them that you're like, oh yeah, you're from Denton. Yeah.
What's that look?
Look in the mirror, bros.
We both did go to UNT. Did you go? Yeah, you definitely went to college, right? Where'd you graduate from?
You went to college, right?
I graduated from the Art Institute, and then I went to a whole bunch of junior colleges to try to get a bachelor's, and then UTA eventually. I was on the 10-year program.
Really educated.
Yeah.
I'm very, very educated. It took me 10 years to get a bachelor's degree. But
Some could say it took me 24 years to get a bachelor's degree.
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you still get to flex your graphic design muscles?
Some, but mainly just for the bar and the store.
Useful skill to have
So yeah,
for your own marketing.
Yeah,
Is that something that you wish you did more of?
market in the store.
The
and-
graphic design, like work? Or
No,
you feel
because
like
I
you're kinda
teach
past
yearbooks, so that kind of scratches that itch because I usually do the cover of it and kind of work the other parts of it. So I think that kind of
Satiates you
keeps-
at least?
Yeah.
Dang, dude. So you said you want to kind of run a podcast, but you have a full-time job, and teaching is basically more than a full-time job. And then you're part owner of a bar that you work at.
Yeah.
How do you find time for yourself? You have kids.
I do have kids. One's in college, and then the other, I see her when I can, and I see her a lot.
Yeah.
But she doesn't live with me. But yeah,
But I see her a lot, okay?
I do. I'm a good dad, I swear. They're the most important. My kids are the most important thing. So I try to do as much with them, and meet them where they are.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drag them to. I really don't have any hobbies, but I'm not going to drag them to my hobbies.
You said you don't have any hobbies?
Not really. I just work. No, I started playing softball again. I quit playing because I couldn't hit the ball anymore, and I didn't think about it. I was like, well, I guess I'm getting old or whatever, and I quit playing. And then 5 or 6 years down the road, I realized I was blind, and
What the hell?
yeah, I realized I needed glasses. I never thought about it. Yeah,
I never thought about it until one day I woke up and I couldn't see.
The ball hit me in the fucking face.
I think I've told y'all this before, but I went to the DMV to get my driver's license renewed, and I walked in and they wanted me to do the eye test, and so I put my hand over one eye and I said B6L, and the lady was like, "I'm going to stop you right there, sir. There are no numbers in this." And I was like, oh, well, so she's like, I know it's bright outside, sunny, so go sit down and let your eyes adjust and then come back up here. And I was like, all right. So I went over and I Googled, eye charts. And I learned that
Most
all
common eye chart
I learned
patterns.
that all the eye charts are the same. So I knew which row she was going to ask me to read. So I just memorized that row and then went back up and passed the I got my driver's license.
Resourceful Scotty.
That should not be a thing. Eye charts should not all be uniform. There needs to be
Right?
some variety.
So
there.
now you know that you can just study it. And
How many blind people think there are on the road? Legally blind people.
so yeah, I went and tried tried out, and it's funny because I was wearing my glasses and I could hit, but then my problem became fielding, and I play like second base, and so balls were coming to me and
Pause.
balls were coming to me and I wasn't catching it, and I was like, what the fuck? So I was talking to my kid, and he was like, well, maybe it's your
Something's wrong with my glove.
Yeah, I did. I thought,
What kind of glove do you have? Just want to make sure we have
this
the
is
same
not the
type.
right one. I don't know. But yeah, but my kid was, my son was like, well, maybe it's your depth perception is off. And so then the next game I was like, well, I'm going to try this. So I used my glasses to bat, took my glasses off when I was in the field, and it was fine. So now I'm excited that it took me like 4 games to realize that. And so, next season will be much better.
Your team was having secret meetings in the back.
Yeah, right.
We gotta get rid of this fucking
Right.
Horrible fielder.
Sean, you're close with him. Why don't you talk to him? Steer him in the right direction. Make him think it's his idea.
More gaslighting. Right?
I wanted to circle back to that when we were talking about your education, because I watched a video this morning talking about college and people's thoughts about whether it's worth it or not, especially now in 2025, with there's so many different avenues to go down, and the world is such a different place than it was even just 20 years ago. You having a son who is in college, what's kind of your perspective on that life path of graduating from high school, going into college versus not going to college?
I think for certain industries you have to get an education. So like my son he's a junior in environmental engineering. I think you pretty much have to get some degree, and I don't know if it's the degree that matters, but you have to have some education in environmental engineering. Mm-hmm. Now, I think it all comes down to what major you pick or what industry you want to be in. If journalism is kind of dead, I wouldn't go get a journalism degree. There are liberal arts degrees that don't matter, and in the opposite, I think there is a lot of value in careers like electricians and plumbers and all of that. We need those things, and right now they're making much more money than many. I mean, a welder coming out of high school probably makes more than what I do as a teacher. So I don't think at all that it's necessary. I mean, you still have to have a drive if you want to be successful in those industries, mm-hmm. even too. But as far as everyone has to go to college, no, everyone doesn't have to go to college. The big ones, doctors, lawyers.
Right, because that was kind
engineers
of our generation's big thing. We were the ones who were being fed, like, you guys need to go to college. That is the key to success. Yeah. And a lot of people did that, and then a lot of people realized, oh, I'm not doing anything with the college degree that I got, or I'm in a completely different field. A lot of people have student loan debts now mm-hmm. because of that, that promise, that dream that they were sold about how that was going to guarantee your future. Yeah. Like how you said about a lot of the trades. Those are actually one of the top sectors of jobs that people are concerned about, that we're not getting enough people into these trades. Yeah. Now with the rise of AI, a lot of the intellectual work is actually being outsourced by computers. Even things like coding, just a couple of years ago, that was a really popular thing. Mm-hmm. It's like learn to code. But now with AI, you have AI that will do kind of the grunt work of the coding, and you really just need a few people to just make sure that it's actually working the way it's supposed to. But AI doesn't know how to fix a stopped up toilet. They don't know how to wire a house for electricity. So we're kind of going back into that section of we need people who can work with their hands.
Or they're going to start saying, learn to prompt.
Well, but AI is getting really good now, so your prompts don't even have to be that good.
Damn.
I remember when ChatGPT first came out, when I first learned about it, I started researching on how to prompt it. There were specific ways that if you didn't prompt it in a particular language, then it would give you, some kind of garbage that you weren't necessarily looking for. So you had to actually learn how to talk to the AI. But nowadays, you can type things that are misspelled and don't really make any sense, and now the AI will ask you clarifying questions, and it'll guess, oh, did you mean this? You spelled whatever word wrong. Are you actually talking about this? And give me more information. So it's really spoon-feeding the user on, help me do what I'm supposed to be able to do.
What if it started getting petty and it was like, oh, I think you meant this, dumbass.
Maybe it should. Maybe it should do that, so that way people can actually learn.
I read the other day that they're calling on people to stop saying please and thank you to chatbots because it just wastes energy. And
yeah, right. We're gonna fucking give up. That's my free ticket out of this whole mess when it takes over.
You got to be nice to them, to your new overlords. Yeah.
Not me. I really try not to be nice to the AI. I try to remind myself, I'm like, this is not a person. Command it. Yeah. Like, you're doing my work for me. I'm like, can you do this? Do this.
Yeah, right.
Do it now.
Yeah. You'll be the first one to die.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's weird, and I had student debt, and I know exactly when I paid it. I was 40 when I paid off my final student debt. Damn. And it's going to be, it's even worse now. That was 20 years ago, and it's going to be, I assume, I am paying for a kid to go through college, and so
at some point they're going to have fucking podcasting degrees. Get your degree in podcasting.
I bet they will, if they don't already.
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, they didn't have it for comedy, right? Is there a comedy degree?
There's got to be something. It might not be called comedy, but it'll have some esoteric name that basically means comedy.
My son is taking a Harry Potter class next semester.
Muggle 101?
Muggle 101. I don't know what the basis is, but it's all based on a Harry Potter. Or on Harry
It's probably
Potter.
about like the literature, the story. They got to find ways to entice people
I
to
guess so.
stay in university and keep paying that tuition.
Absolutely. You know, in the 70s, kids could go to Yale, work during the summer to pay for their school. And that's just mind-blowing to me. I mean, it's so expensive now. But it is what it is. You know, some of them have to do it. You know, if they have that drive or want to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, whatever, then they're going to have to. They're going to have to bite that bullet. But they have the opportunity to make that money up, you know.
It's true.
Down the line.
But they'll probably be in a similar situation like you. Granted, you know, they're going to be making more money, but it is more expensive to go to school now too. So you have doctors and lawyers, they have these high-paying jobs, but they also are in the hole a large amount because they have that additional schooling.
12 years worth of student loans.
Kids start seeing all of these other like social media influencers who are purporting these ways that you can make tons of money, like drop shipping and all these weird get-rich-quick schemes, and they're seeing other people go through that. Of course, you have to be at the front end of it to actually do something with it, but there's a new one popping up over and over again, and kids are starting to get really
savvy.
Yeah, but there's people who aren't doing it, who are just working at GameStop or working at Wingstop or whatever stop you're working at. They're getting pissed about this because it's like they're working minimum wage, whatever state you're in, 15, 20, whatever, and it's like, or I think here in Texas it's still $7.25, right?
$7.25,
That's right, baby.
Who would work for that at this day and age?
Right. Well, they're not. I mean, like, you know, that is a minimum. But even like McDonald's is paying, you know, $15 an hour now, you know, because of it. Because it's bullshit that our government hasn't raised that, you know, limit. But
do they have to though? Because, you know, kind of to that same point, we as the state of Texas, we still have that minimum wage. But like you're saying, I don't know too many places that pay actual minimum wage. Everyone else pays. You know, granted, not a lot more, but they're paying $9 an hour, $12 an hour, $15 an hour. I feel like those are really common because these businesses, they need to stay competitive. They need people just like everybody else does.
Absolutely.
And so the minimum wage could be $1. You're not going to hire anybody for no one's willing to work for that anymore. So to me, at least, the minimum wage is more of a formality. It's kind of irrelevant now. Yeah. With the exception of when they raise the minimum wage too high, and now you're kind of like price gouging, especially at small businesses. Yeah. You know, if you're a small business, maybe you can't afford to pay somebody $20 an hour to sweep and clean up. Yeah. Maybe that's just not something that you're able to afford.
I guess this is particularly of importance to you as someone who is a small business owner, right? A part owner that you actually have to hire people. Do you personally get affected by, like, if there was to go laws in place of like minimum wage stuff, they raised it pretty high, would that like completely mess up your bar?
It's odd in the hospitality or, you know, bar and restaurant industry. Most waiters, servers, bartenders make $2.15 an hour, I think, or $2.45 an hour. $2.13.
That's what it was when I was serving.
Yeah, I think it still is. No, I think it still is. And my partners and I as a business decided we didn't want to do that. So we pay our bartenders, I think, $12 an hour.
Damn.
So
that's what's up.
I'm sure it hurts us in the short run.
Right.
But
you can sleep at night.
I can sleep at night, right? Knowing I'm not, you know, like, I know a server who said she never got a actual check. And I think like John Oliver on Last Week Tonight did a whole segment on it, that these people aren't getting any checks from the restaurant because after paying taxes, that, you know, you work 10 hours, you know, or, you know, 5-hour shifts or whatever, $2.13, you know, to get $10 for that night. And so then you're going to pay taxes on top of that. And so you're getting nothing from your checks. So you're maintaining just tips and stuff. And so, you know, it's hard. And it's hard for starting a business. You know, if I were to pay my servers $2.13, because we're not super busy right now. You know, we're still growing our vibe, and you know, once we get food going, the checks are going to be higher, and people, you know, our staff can make more on tips and stuff. But until that happens, I mean, we have to pay them more, or we're going to be replacing bartenders every other week, and so it's similar. But you know, I think we, as a company, you know, kind of combat that, and so we can retain some loyalty in our.
Except for the people who are trying to choke you to death. I bet it's.
Right. Well, he made more because he was a store manager. So he made.
What the hell?
He's trying to choke you out of a raise.
Right. They say it's so much better, easier, cheaper to retain employees than it is to hire new ones and bring them in and onboard them.
Do you find that to be true?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and not just in hospitality but in any business.
And what kinds of things do you kind of look for whenever you're, let's say, interviewing a potential bartender or something like that?
I don't really do that part of it.
Okay.
And that's why you're getting people who are choking you. You're not involved in the hiring process.
Yeah, bro.
I should really step up my game on that. Yeah.
I feel like that would piss me off as a part owner.
Right.
Here's your new bartender.
Yeah, right. Nah, I don't mind it. Because I mean it's not in my skill set. I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You're
HR
a creative,
manager.
not so much administrative. Type person.
Yeah, the one person I did have to fire. I was done with him and wanted to get it over with, and so I did it myself instead of waiting for my partner who is more.
Can you imagine if they went over you
HR.
and were like, actually, we need him. We need the guy who's choking you in the parking lot.
Well, but I held it off for so long until he got a couple of bad reviews, and so I had to just for
job performance at that point, right?
Right.
It's called assault.
I mean, and I did need him, and I had to take up his slack. I had to pick up his shifts for a couple of weeks afterwards, because that's the problem these days with and not just hospitality, but with any industry, school, medical, whatever, is just finding quality people to work. I mean, they're just seemingly not out there. I mean, you got girls coming in to interview in tank tops and jean shorts and shit, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, this is a professional place, and they'll come in, they'll work for a couple hours and decide, it's not for me, and just walk off the job, not tell anybody. It's just it's the Wild West out there to try to find, and that goes back to retaining good employees.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to treat them well, and to keep them, and because you don't know what's out there. Really.
Have you heard of the Gen Z stare?
Stare? No.
There's a Gen Z employee, like you come up to them, they don't greet you. They're just like, or if you are working and they come up to you, then they just wait for you to initiate contact or whatever. It's like, what the hell, man? They even do it for job interviews. There's like the Gen Z stare version of a job interviewer calling a candidate, and the candidate will answer and not say anything.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I got in an Uber the other day, and I was at the airport, and so I go up to one, doesn't roll the window down, and he gives me the Gen Z stare, I guess, because I have to open up the back door and say, hey, are you Carlos? And he's like, yeah. And that's it. Like, I had to open up the trunk, and, it's not my car. I'm just opening doors and trunks and shit, shoving stuff. But, yeah, and I opened up the trunk and the back door before I even asked him. I'm just used to doing that. But, I mean, I had to initiate that. Are you Carlos? Not, hey, I'm here.
Right.
Nothing. I'm just, okay, well, here we go. And then he was taking me from the airport to Little Elm, like 30 miles away. He didn't say a single word. Like, I had my girlfriend's in the back texting me, this is so uncomfortable. And it kind of was. He didn't say a single word. So I get that.
Yeah.
And I find that Gen Z has a staring people or looking people in the eye problem. As well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's and it's in teaching. I have students that can't look me in the eye, and that's going to be hard for them going forward. If you don't have a firm handshake and can't look people in the eye,
it's going to be hard for all of us.
Yeah, I'm not going to hire you.
Right, but then it's like you're going to need people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's a actual real big problem. And I don't, it's really popular to always shit on the younger generation and talk about their problems. I don't fault them for it 100%. COVID did irreparable damage, the lockdowns specifically, to people's social interacting skills. There were a lot of things that you kind of had to do just by going to school, going to your spiritual places of worship, going to the grocery store. There were a lot of ways that we were forced to interact with people that nowadays everything can really be brought to you. You don't have to interact with anybody. Really, if you try hard enough, you can get your groceries delivered to your house.
Absolutely.
You can work remotely from home. You can basically watch TV shows and movies in your living area. You don't have to really step outside.
You can live chronically online if you wanted to.
What they call it, hikikomori, the lost generation of Japanese kids who just sit in the room all day and
dude,
watch
that's
manga.
a problem.
Yeah.
And we can see that there. We can see the effects of that already, and the world is starting to go in that direction.
We're here with our AI overlords, and our kids are sitting at home watching TikTok and And even in groceries, you don't even have to see the person who delivered.
I hate
or
that.
they can come in your house now.
No,
when you're not home.
Oh, with like the Amazon whatever opening the door.
Yeah, And I think Walmart does it too. I might be wrong about that, but yeah, there's services now that are pretty much like, you install this device, we can come into your home, drop off your stuff, we'll put it up for you.
Not
what?
today,
Set it up in your fridge?
Yeah.
Oh hell no! What?
Yeah.
That seems dangerous, especially
Right?
in Texas.
Yeah,
people
for
just
sure.
walking in your house.
Step on a random bear trap.
Yeah. Booby trap gun. Booby traps are illegal.
And that's a shame, really.
Sorry, my mind just went there.
With Gen Z, like, they are growing up in a very precarious time, but the people now just aren't having those skills. They're not being developed as they're growing up, and it's affecting the older generations, and those are the people who are going to be entering the workforce. What's going to happen when they're our only option now?
Right, so you're going to call tech support and they just sit there until you say something?
Yeah, exactly.
But shit, if we have to do that at all. I went to Panda Express the other day and they don't have a person. It's an automated voice.
That's true, yeah.
And it pissed me off because I couldn't cancel. I ordered whatever side of chow mein. And then I said it wrong or whatever. And I was like, cancel chow mein. Cancel chow mein. It said, would you like to speak to a representative?
They patched you in on a phone call.
They did. So
This is getting a little redundant, a little convoluted is really what it's getting.
Yes, absolutely. Usually I shit on the older generation.
True, yeah.
I do think the kids are all right, but I don't know. It's going to be
But
hard.
this time,
for them.
I don't know.
But no, it's going to be hard for them to get and maintain professional jobs if they can't.
It's going to get to a point where soft skills are more important than hard skills.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to go through a renaissance where we have people that want to be in trades and people who can achieve soft skills.
Dude, it's incredibly refreshing when you can run into a young kid that like can really actually verbalize with you, like go back and forth, have funny, witty conversations with you.
It's because they stand out.
Yeah, right.
Back in the day when we were in school, that was seen as like a fucking bad thing.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, hey, shut the fuck up.
And that was me. They would just roll their eyes and.
Now as a teacher, if a student comes up to you, you're like, oh, thank God. The one dog in a room full of cats.
And they're looking all around. You're like, what are they looking at?
It turns out they're just avoiding your eyes.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing.
There's nothing up there in the corners.
You need to start putting eyes in the corner so they can not look there. Put eyes everywhere.
Eyes as wallpaper? Where are you going to look now?
What are you gonna look? What you gonna do?
No,
On
you
the
have
floor.
some tryptophobia. Some people.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Now with everybody who has conditions and I don't know what, you definitely find somebody. It's like, I can't be in this room.
Right.
This is not a safe space for
This
me.
is not a safe space.
Dude, the need for safe spaces it's freaking tragic, honestly, is what it is.
There's no such thing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a 100% truly safe space.
No.
You could die at any moment in any place.
Yeah.
It's
Even
fun.
those guys that were on the submarine that went as far away from humanity as you can get, boom! They're dead as fuck.
They are dead as fuck. Billionaires on the bottom of the ocean floor. Serves them right, really.
It is hard for me to feel bad when people are doing things that humans are not meant to do. We don't belong at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, that's for
Go
fishes with
on.
lanterns on their heads.
Katy Perry does not, belong in space.
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 Was that whole thing filmed or staged?
Well, we don't know,
no,
but the
They just
joke
went to
is
the
that
atmosphere.
there's basically like a line that counts as once you cross it, then you're in space, and so they kind of just barely went over that line.
Wow, just the tip? Damn.
But in conversely, you have those people who don't belong at the bottom of the ocean or in space. But then I can't feel sorry for like the United Healthcare CEO who got whacked in New York. I don't know. You treat people badly, do bad shit. I can't feel sorry for you.
You push people to a level, it's going to be jokers all over the place.
Yeah. I'm surprised it hasn't happened more in healthcare because it's such a necessary, basic thing that the wealthy are taking advantage of. And I was shocked that was the first time it ever happened.
Do you know who Ben Askren is?
No.
Well, he just had like a I think it was like a double lung transplant surgery that he needed to do because he got pneumonia. And he's a big personality inside of the MMA community. And, so his sickness or whatever is very public, and came out that his healthcare provider just did not cover his thing. So he's going to die.
Yeah.
And one of the first reactions that people had is like, well, somebody might get killed.
Yeah.
And, it took people of note to come up and actually just pay for it. What are we paying insurance for if it's not going to cover something that's life-saving?
Oh, yeah. Even people who are insured are going bankrupt because of healthcare, and that is ridiculous. But, all of these people that want to bitch about, European healthcare or every other industrialized nation's healthcare, they're paying a lot less than what we are and getting better, service. Like they'll say, oh, you have to wait in line for, 10 years in Canada to get a heart transplant. No, you don't. But, they have better insurance, better health care for a lot less than what we do. And it's a travesty. Yeah. So I'm surprised more people haven't been. I
think the extreme of that, specifically with Canada, is what you're seeing is that like they're encouraging people to, once they start passing laws about like euthanasia or whatever, like killing someone when they're older or senile or whatever, or if they're like too injured and they can't, the process to fix them is just too expensive, they start encouraging them, saying like, hey, you really want your family to have to like go through this debt once you're gone? And they encourage them to basically take a lethal injection. And it's like, once you start getting to that point, it's like, what are we doing here?
Right.
It's too expensive to keep somebody alive with these prices. It's going to take too long to get there, and we're encouraging people to kill themselves so that their family doesn't incur the debt.
But is that a bad thing?
That's the question.
That is the question.
I mean, I think we all should have that option to
kill our family,
to take our own life. No, to take our own life. And we do. I mean, we can all eat a bullet, but
for breakfast.
For breakfast, I do it every day. Spit it out. And I know what you're saying. They shouldn't, actively, hey, kill yourself or save your family money. But it's not wrong, and
I agree. You should have the option to do it. They shouldn't be encouraging you to do it and guilting you into doing it.
Yeah.
How much is it really
realistically?
I'll send you a couple articles.
I mean, there is a 0.001% of patients or whatever it is.
It mostly happens with chronic illnesses and chronic injuries that like it's going to cost so much to just continue to keep you alive or continue to sustain you or whatever. That's mostly what it's happening with.
Yeah, and I would, if I were chronically injured or in a state where I'm not fully conscious, I would want that anyway, and so.
Yeah, but you're a guy. And that's like a big thing with guys. We're ready to be sacrificed. Send us in there.
Out.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
But
what happens with the woman who wants to stay alive? Like they
could say no.
Who?
The women.
Or
men or patients in general.
Yeah.
Could say no.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're talking to a doctor or whatever, they're not going to just keep hammering. Like, no, I don't want to kill myself. No, I don't want to eat your.
Sorry,
eat your pills.
I'm not trying to die.
but right, I mean, you can say no.
Unless you're Gen Z.
Right.
I will take your silence as confirmed.
2, please.
I bet you they would too, dude. I can kill myself.
They know. Trust me, they know.
They know.
So while we are on the topic of killing things, we've kind of reached our time limit here. We are very happy to have you back on again. Thank you for being our first person who test out this 3-person format. We've extended the studio. We're seeing if this could be more of a thing because, it's fun to have 3 people and you're a good buddy. So we wanted to bring you on as the first person to try this out with.
Well, Andrew's so pretty, you don't want to leave him out.
Yeah, exactly.
They said it.
Yeah. Anything that you want to say to the people, anything you want to plug, your bar for anyone over 21?
Locals Lounge, Mustang Station, B Street, Farmers Ranch, Texas.
Heck yeah.
Craft cocktails.
Anything you want to say to the people?
Let us know what you thought of this new format. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? And make sure to like and subscribe.